We're gonna have a snow day stream. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Big Bad Bench. My name is John, aka Big Bad Biologist. And today we're gonna do a lot of things. First, I'm gonna give you an update about this SE30 Reloaded board that I was working on last weekend that was such a pain in the butt. This thing was ruining my life on that stream last time, and turns out we got it working. But let's say hi to folks in the chat. We got Everything is Broken Garage. We got Vic the Vicar, Tara's Aviation and other stuff, and Epictronics. How's it going, everyone? Thank you so much for stopping by to this weird time of a stream. But I'm snowed in today, so let's do a stream and talk about stuff. So just to prove that this thing is actually working. Oh, there's Garth Beagle too. Let's see. Let's go to Potato Cam. Look, it's actually working. Everything is Broken Garage says I can keep the snow. I think we're done with snow now. We're almost done with snow already with this particular storm. So you can't really see this, but I've been letting this thing go for a while. And so this is just Snooper, and I have it running the PRAM, the clock, the SCSI, the CPU, the ADB, and the FPU tests. And it's made it through 107 cycles. And basically there have been no issues. I didn't do the RAM because it takes so long to do 16 megs of RAM. We have had one PRAM issue out of 108 runs. We have had 2 real-time clock issues out of 108 runs. So I don't know what that's about. So let's shut this down, and I'll show you what I've done to the board since last weekend. I just wanted to prove it to you that this thing is actually working. Okay, let's stop our thing. File quit. Special shutdown. Okay. All right. Yay, it's done. Okay, let's go back to here. Hey, it's I80386SX. How's it going? Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, weird midweek stream because I'm snowed in, so I said screw it. I did a bunch of real world work today, and then I was like, all right, let's go do a stream. Who else is here? III DIY is here. Yay. Oh, Vic the Vicar also got a PRAM failure on an SE30. Interesting. All right, so if you all remember at the end of last stream, basically we had this SE30 reloaded board. And we had these 2 Sony chips that we were sort of focusing on, and we were being helped a lot by Amiga of Rochester and Thomas Andrews, Amiga of Rochester and Technite. And basically we figured out that if we pulled these 2 chips out, that we could get the CMAC, and if we left those 2 chips in there, that nothing would happen. It would just show up as dead. And so this was sort of an issue. And so one of the things that I figured out after the stream was that there was a short on the 5-volt rail somewhere that was basically somehow, once it connected through these, that basically just prevented the board from powering up. Ultimately, I found a little tiny bridge of solder. I guess when whoever pulled these off of the original board, there was a little tiny solder bridge connecting 2 of the pins, and I guess that was causing our 5-volt short. So I cleared that, and the other thing was that one of these Sony chips was really messed up, so I had to grind off some of that Sony chip, and I put a new leg on it, and so that's working, and then it worked. And so that was fun. But that wasn't, it didn't actually boot. So that just made it CMAC all the time. And so once we got CMAC all the time, that's telling us that something is at least happening with the board. Tech Ambrosia, hey, how's it going? And Brad Bell is here, yay. Thank you all for showing up. So then what happened? So then these sockets, for all these, I think these are all the PALs, were precision sockets, and I wasn't a big fan of precision sockets. These were precision sockets as well, so I got rid of those. I put regular dual wipe sockets in on all these. And then what else happened? I changed the RAM. Turns out some of the RAM I was using might not have been ideal. It works in other systems, but it gives me errors every once in a while. So I put in basically new clean RAM. And then I found that if I ganked on, like really grabbed onto the SIM socket for the ROM, that I could get the system to boot somewhat consistently, and it would like boot up and you could do stuff, but then as soon as you let go of the SIM socket, it would crash. And so one of the things I did was I resoldered all of the SIM socket, and I took the whole thing off, looked for bridges underneath there. I did kind of screw up the solder mask because I wanted to see if there were any shorts or anything or any breaks. I checked all of those, everything was looking good there. And so what I wound up doing was just sort of, I can kind of show you in the microscope. Let's go to the microscope. Let's see if the microscope actually decides to grace us with its presence today. Oh yeah. So the SIM socket of the ROM is basically the same as a regular 30-pin kind of SIM socket. And basically what I did was I just kind of got tweezers in there and pried it so that the little legs would poke out further away and make better contact with the SIM. And that basically cleaned up everything. That has basically made it work consistently ever since then. So it seems like the SIM socket for the ROM was bad. Probably changing these was overkill. It probably didn't need to be done. Yeah, and then also I had, it's not going to be easy to see here, but you can kind of make it out. When I was looking for issues with this thing, I swore that there was a short under the FPU. So I unsoldered the socket that was on there. And when I did that, I tore off 3 of the pads. And so I had to, it was actually 4 pads, 2 in the corner and then 2 coming off of there. So yeah, fix those traces. FPU's all working good. And so this thing is cranking. This is I'm super excited to be able to play with this. I had a GG Labs Maxim, and it matches the black of this board. And so this is one of the boards from Colin from This Does Not Compute. So this thing's ready to go. So I got this from Gut Bomb, and we'll see what we're going to do with this thing. Because I already have 2 SE30s already, so maybe we'll figure out something to do with it. Other side project that's kind of fun is I had a bunch of Raspberry Pi Picos around, and I had a bunch of sockets, and so I wanted to make my own Raspberry Pi or Blue SCSIs, and so I ordered my own boards from JLC PCB, and they came in and they're working, which is really cool because I've never made my own Blue SCSI from scratch, basically. Not that I made the boards, but I ordered them from JLC PCB. I feel like an adult. So it was cool. I tried out 2 of these so far, and they are working. So that's fun. So we have a bunch of Blue SCSIs, and also just a reminder that I have real Blue SCSIs, and I'm going to be giving one away at VCF East. If you guess how many caps are in this Erlenmeyer flask, you can win a Blue SCSI. That Blue SCSI is green. I did screw up when I ordered them. Like I said, I'm new at this whole PCB ordering thing, and I forgot to change the color. I feel ashamed. I'm sorry, Eric Helgeson. I feel terrible. But it works just fine, even though it's green, and it kind of matches the Raspberry Pi Pico. So, Garth Beagle asks, is a cap still whole if it's leaked more than half its juice? We will assume that any cap that's present in there counts as a cap regardless of how much cap juice it contains. Wow, that was some things. So yeah, SE30 Reloaded. It's working. How freaking awesome is that? So now what we need to do is we need to rebuild a Macintosh Plus. And this Macintosh Plus is one that I had on stream, I don't know, a while ago. I bought it a couple of months ago at this point, I guess now. Set you aside, chassis. And this Macintosh Plus, at one point in its life, was a 512K or a 128. I haven't run the serial number. If there's any serial number folks out there, this is the serial number F5388DEM0001W. That was the serial number on this thing, but when I got it, it had already been upgraded to a Macintosh Plus. And so it was working fine, but it was yellow. And so just to show you the color yellow, right? So this is from the 512K that we're going to look at in a little bit. And so it wasn't awful, but it was really similar to this, maybe a little bit more orange than this. And so you can see I did some retro brighting, and this thing's back to its nice original beige color. So I'm really happy with how this turned out. But we've got to put this thing back together. One thing I actually just noticed right now is that one of these caps is actually bulged, so we may as well take care of that while we have this analog board off. We'll rip those off. Yeah. Alright, so let's set this aside and let's oh yeah, the other issue with this system, I mean, functionally it was fine, but there was some sort of liquid that dropped down on this thing, and there was corrosion all in here. So I cleaned up the corrosion, spray painted it all with what's the stuff? Galvanizing paint is what I use to do these things, and it just makes it nice and clean looking. I'm going to just dump a little bit of isopropanol on there. Let's zoom in a little bit. And let's get rid of this hot glue. So theoretically, this should just go right back together and work if I can find the logic board. I might have used this logic board in one of my experiments when I was futzing around with trying different CPUs. So I gotta go see if that logic board's sitting there. Okay, Vic the Vicar knows his codes for Mac, and he says that that system was a 512. All right, and you can see that this analog board did not originally have REFAs in the positions where we sometimes see REFAs, so this is pretty straightforward. These are some big honkin' 1000 microfarad caps. Dang. Okay. We'll use our big honkin' soldering iron. Let's suck a little solder using the Soldapult. Oh, Ian Scott's here. How's it going, Ian? Sorry about that. Yeah, JLC PCB does encourage you. They like you to use the greens. So, this one has our friend folded over legs, which is always a joy to take off. One of the issues with the folded over legs on these boards is sometimes these analog boards can get a little fragile, and the traces can come off kind of easily. So you just want to be careful when you're working on these. Use my soldering iron to pry that up a little. Use it to pry up there. And I think I already did, yeah, I think that's why the plastic cover is off, because I already reflowed the solder joints on this thing. But I have a feeling the one that we're going to look at in a little bit is going to have solder joints that we will need to take a look at. Just do these two. Normally these older caps from the 80s tend to not need recapping. They're like so big that they're just like chock full of juice. So it's kind of weird to see that one. Not happy. I don't think for as many compact Macs as I have, I don't think I've ever done a full recap on a Plus analog board. I know Technite has encountered ones where he's needed to, but I haven't found any where it was very obvious that that was the issue. Obviously, you have to take a look and see if there's refas. Those are always going to be a pain in the butt. But come on, thing. Bend up. There we go. Okay. So those are two 1000 microfarad 16 volt caps. It's fun to see the modern equivalent. Hey, Chris Angelis is here. Yeah, snow day, so we're gonna build some stuff. I already went over the SE30 Reloaded. That's all rocking and rolling. Now we're working on a Macintosh Plus. Yeah, so last night when I was driving home from work, my way home from work is really normally a lovely ride. I drive up this road that's kind of mountainy, little twisty, it's just a nice road. But last night we had icing, and so as I was driving home, it was just one of the most terrifying drives I've ever had. And so today I was like, nope, there's no way in heck I'm going in, take the day off, work from home a little bit, and then come and hang out with you all. So at one point I'm driving and I was either doing the speed limit or like just under the speed limit, and there's a dude behind me, and like as I'm driving I could feel my car like wiggling, right? Like it was not a super safe driving condition. It was just like so icy and wet and icy. It was just a really bad combination. This dude drives up behind me in a Jeep and decides to start passing me. And so I see him pull out behind me, and I kind of start seeing him out of the corner of my eye and in the side mirror. And his Jeep starts going like this as he's trying to pass me. And finally he just like slows down and gets back in line. And then we go around this turn, and a dude had gone off the road and smashed into a telephone pole. And then a little bit further up the road, these are a little loose. These I think are just holding on the heat sinks, but I just want to hit them real quick. So I'm going around a turn, and like the back of the car just starts sliding out. And so I slowed down and corrected, but man, it was just terrifying. Hey, Gut Bomb is here. You missed me showing off your SE30 Reloaded board. It's all kind of sort of working for the most part. Okay, so this thing should be good to go now. Oh, that was not a good solder. Let's make that cap a little bit straighter. Oh yeah, that's straighter now. Let's do this one. Okay. Yeah, I-0386, I guess it was probably the same storm. Yeah, I guess if the Vicar, if you are getting weird issues, a recap is probably not a terrible idea on these things, but like I said, normally I find I don't need them. All right, so our analog board should be good here. Let's set this aside and let's get our chassis and our front. Again, here's our nicely retro brighted front, no longer yellow, nice and beige. Yeah, Gut Bomb was at Micro Center. I have not been to the Micro Center in Cambridge. I really need to get over there. We had one near where I used to live in Pennsylvania. I loved it. I loved Micro Center. Callan, welcome back. All right, so I've saved, oh, I forgot to retro bite the back. Oh, I guess the back's not that bad, the battery cover. No, let's not put it there. That's where the monitor goes. All right, so what do we got here? We got a lot of screws. They all seem to be the same size on these. Normally, like when you're working with a Classic or a Classic 2, they're two different sizes. But these are all the same size on this one. Okay. We got to get our T15 out. It's rare that I don't already have the T15 out. Okay, so we're gonna put our screw in the hole, go the wrong way, feel the click, and go forward. When I do these, I typically get them all close and then back them off a little bit until I get all the screws in. There should be 5 overall here. These bottom ones are loose. Okay, so I'm going to tighten them, tighten that, tight, tight, tight. Now our CRT, I forgot to clean it. Hopefully I have a relatively clean paper towel here somewhere. Yeah, I think the main issue that wound up being the biggest problem on that SE30 Reloaded board was the ROM sim socket was just really finicky. So once I got that cleaned up, it seemed to work more consistently. I mean, it had other issues too, but like that was one of the big things from preventing it from consistently powering up. The screen looked pretty good. The CRT looked pretty good. You can see there's not much in the way of burn in there. Hey, Steve. Yes, Steve, this is not my normal time. I'm sorry. The world is getting weird. It snowed in April. So I needed a day off. Well, I didn't need a day off. I actually probably could have used a lot of time at work today. But I'm going to use the day off to take care of some stuff here at the BigBadBench. Alrighty, what do we got? So we got all these things. Got 4 more screws we need to put in here. Eric Helgeson is here too. I was just saying, Eric, how ashamed I was. And Bacchus is here too. There it is. That's what I that's what I was ashamed about, my friend. All right, don't forget to do this thing. You always want to make sure your grounding strap is connected to the implosion band there. Yeah. Look at this. Look at this ugly green blue scuzzy. I felt the shame when the boards came in. I was like, oh, I made a mistake in ordering. Oh yeah, when the in-laws come, that's always a thing. That's what I thought, Chris. It matches the Pi Pico. We need someone to make some Pi Picos that are blue. Or do what Ian Scott does and just put it all right onto the board. But they work. They work. The one annoying bit is, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show it. There's all these resistors right here. They're 110 ohm resistors. JLC PCB was out of 110 ohm resistors. So I needed to hand solder all of those, which was just a minor annoyance. Okay, so here's our analog board. Slide that on in there. Okay, don't forget our little thing, or people on the internet will yell at us. Okay, so we should have 4 coarse screws overall for attaching our analog board, or at least on this one. Sometimes both of these are populated. Sometimes it's just one. In this particular system, it was just one. So we have long ones and one short one. The short one is for the ground on the back. Oh, thanks for reminding me. Good job, Vic. Yes, I forgot. I forgot this. Vic is on his game. Knows the Mac serial numbers. Reminds me to put on the brightness knob. I think while I'm in here, I'm just going to hit that with a little deoxit. I might have already done it, but you can never do too much deoxit. All right. That does make it a little bit more fiddly to put in, but it's typically not too hard. Yeah, we only got about 6 inches of snow here, but the problem was that there was like an inch of ice underneath the layer of snow. If it had just been 6 inches of snow, it wouldn't have been that bad. But the layer of ice was the problem for me. I do not do well on ice. Well, my car does not do well on ice. Chris, no, I did not buy a new car yet, unfortunately. The day I was supposed to go car shopping, my partner lost her wallet. And so we had to go find, the person found it, luckily. And so we had to go meet up with that person, which was in the exact opposite direction from where the car dealership was. Where's our other one? Hey, Jamie's Hack Shack's here. Hey, Jamie. So what I'm doing here, so this whole thing has been painted with galvanizing paint, which is really not, I don't know, it's just something that kind of looks okay when you need to recover one of these, because this chassis was very rusty. There was all rust on the rails where the motherboard or logic board comes in. Okay. Just gonna hit a little deoxit in these because sometimes there can be some issues with those. I've seen where they get like a little tarnished and then the resistance gets high and the little connectors overheat and then it makes a mess on the analog board. I hate 0386SX says I was supposed to go car shopping, but this pile of Macs showed up in Vermont instead. That was another thing that distracted me the following weekend, yeah. All right, get this back on there. That guy's a little sticky. Okay, so our neck, and let's put our floppy drive in here. I have serviced this floppy drive now. I have not tested it yet, but I find that they test better, or they test more accurately when they are inside of their housings. Which way do these go again? I always forget. It goes that way. Okay. This is the front. Yeah, I think I did see Tony359 do this, use that kind of paint as well. I had been doing it before he did. I never mentioned it. The paint isn't perfect, but it's way better than the corrosion nastiness that we had. It wasn't like super rusted through, but it was just like a lot of corrosion. So it's good to I hit it with the wire wheel, got rid of all the major rust bits, and then sprayed it. Also, like, I have one of these where I've repainted the insides with like a gunmetal paint, and that looks really nice. But this one, since it's a 512K, I kind of wanted it to look a little older. Okay, let's get our chassis again. Ian Scott likes to use Evapo Rust on rusted computer chassis. I've never tried Evapo Rust. But I have plenty of chassis with rust, so I'm willing to give anything a shot. So if you say it's good, I'll definitely give it a check it out. All right, Bacchus, have a good day. Thanks for stopping by. Alrighty. This paint does show fingerprints, especially when you got like some grease on your hands. Let's see if I can find a analog board for this thing, or a logic board. Where's my... Okay. Forget which one it is. It was this one. Okay, so this is the board out of this thing. You can tell because there's a little tiny bit of rust down in that corner that I haven't been able to deal with all that well. I think this board's fine. Okay. Yeah, and you can see where there was a little bit of rust here. Oh yeah, this is not an SE. You have to slide the whole thing all the way from the back. Okay, that fits in there. This is my fancy method for doing an extension where we just put nails in to connect the two. It works fine. It's fine. Not jank at all. And floppy cable. All right, now, do I have a 25 pin? Yeah, okay. This is not a Plus that I've done my mod to, so I don't have. Okay. Don't have an internal SCSI on this one, so we'll use an external blue SCSI on this one. Let's put this back on, because I've already proven that if you don't put on your plastic side thing that you can shock the heck out of yourself. I don't feel like doing that again. All right, let's get stupid and find a mouse. Oh, here's a mouse. This is actually the mouse that came. No, this came with the other one. So I have two now that are pluses that used to be 512s or 128s. Okay, that's not on. All right, we have our anode on, we have our grounding strap on, we have all these connectors in. I think we're good to go. Did anyone else notice anything I screwed up? All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Chime. Chaotic Systems, how's it going? Let's go to Potato Cam. What are we looking at? Oh, there we go. We got something. It's pretty dim. Let's check our cutoff here. There we go. Oh, that's better. That's better. All right, so we're at max brightness there. I think that's pretty good. Sweet. Is my screen a little low? Yeah, I think that's a reflection. That's not a real light coming through there. Cool. Well, that plus is pretty happy. All right, so that's one project put back together. Now let's take another project apart. All right, I'm looking forward to seeing what's inside this thing, this 512 that I picked up. I have not disassembled this yet. Okay. Yay. Good job, little converted plus. Oh, we got to do a thing. Always the last thing you do when you work on these things. You got to make sure to put the Mac logo back on there. Now I got to just find my Mac logo. Where'd you go, little logo? Oh my gosh. I better not have lost you. Oh no, there you are. You're hiding next to the Garth Beagle sticker. Yay. That's a nice looking 512. Nice. All right, the chassis on this one is still retro brighting. The chassis was not ready yet. Okay, now let's look at one that's less pretty, but I'm still very excited to have. Oh, look at this yellow mess. Yeah, so here's a good comparison between the colors. Oh, the automatic color correction already shifted. Let's go back. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Now you can see it. No, you saw it for a second. This thing is very yellow. So let's see what's happening inside of here. I have not powered it on. There's a little brighter spot there. We did take out the battery last time, and this was actually one of the nicest battery containers I've ever seen, which was a good find. Here's a good comparison in the colors. Okay. Needs more butter. Oh, Gut Bomb's watching me on from the beginning. Yeah, you don't want to miss a second of the Big Bad Bench. Who knows what you could miss? Let's zoom out ever so slightly. There we go. Steve says, this is much more exciting than my meetings. I had a really lovely meeting this morning with a student from Chile that is going to return and come do research with me. I was really excited about that. It was like the best meeting I've had in a long time. Trina's Technobabble is here. How are you doing, Trina? Okay. Oof. Hey, get back over here. Okay, it fell back in the hole. Oh, Trina the shipper. Oh, wow, that screw is tight. Look at what it did to my extension. We twisted my extension. All right. So this thing probably has not been opened since 1990. Oh yeah, I forgot to show the front of it. So let's take a look at the front. Oh, there goes the screw. Where'd you go, screw? Okay. Come here, screw. All right, speaking of jank, look at this sticker. South of the border. You know that's classy. If you've ever driven by that place. But how cool is this sticker? Princeton University Library, 1989 to 1990. It appears, it's hard to see exactly everything that's happening on this sticker, but it says it is authorized from the library building the following. So I think this was an authorization to remove the computer from the Princeton Library. So someone got it from the Princeton Library. Steve says, that came from my state. I demand it back. I come from that state too originally, Steve. So, you know, it's kind of mine too. But all right. Oh man, Trina's sending giant boxes of hard drives to Steve. That can only end badly. Oh yeah, let's check out the other side. A little bit of grossness there. So, there. Okay. Let's see what we're working with. Tiny little thing there. Uh-oh. Something just made a weird noise. I don't know if you're all still there or not. I don't hear much in the way of things rattling around, so that's always a good sign. This is relatively clean. Yeah, look at that. That is actually real clean. All right, let's pop out the logic board and take a look at what we got. Interestingly, it's a red cable. I thought all the earlier ones had yellow cables. Look at that beautiful processor. Okay, well, unfortunately we didn't come across any amazing rare expansion thing, but it's a nice clean board. So that we got that going for us. All right, let's take a look. Oh, there was a bug. There's a bug. Maybe this needs to go back to Jersey, Steve. You want me to bring this back next weekend? Little potato bug. Go back to Jersey. Let's check our analog board. Wow. This thing looks good. I DIY says, wear your gloves. Yeah, you know me. I'm a little more hardcore. Dang. Those solder joints look right out of 1986. Or 1983. There's our date code. 1983 printed right there. Oh yeah, here's our serial number. F4350PDM001W. Wow, I don't even think I need to touch these solder joints. They look nice. Let's look at the solder joints there. That one's a little rough. That one's a little rough. Yeah, Steve's Plus had solder joints that I'm normally used to looking at when I open up a Plus. Let's just hit this one real quick. And that one. I really don't want to touch this thing because it's like too nice. I kind of want to leave the jersey sticker on there, but also I really hate the yellowing on these things. All right, let's see if I can show you the floppy drive. I've never worked on one of these 400K drives, so this will be fun. But look how clean that all looks in there. I don't know if I've ever opened up a Mac that looks this clean. Let's see what this thing does. Oh, are there any reefas? Oh, we got a reefa. Got a reefa. Sorry, folks. We're gonna have to do a quick reefaectomy. Reefectomy? Hey, Eric's Edge is here. What's up, Eric? All right, which one's our reefa? Come here, you jerk. And just gonna heat the solder up. Pry that up. I want to do my best to not screw up this board. I think I'm actually gonna use the flush cutter. So I have to pull less of it through. Poke it a little more through there. There we go. No damage there. Come on, you jerk. There we go. No damage there. This isn't too bad of a refa. There's some crackage, but we probably could have got some hours out of that one. Better to not chance it. 0.1 microfarad X caps. Let's see what we got. Eric likes to leave them in for extra spicy flavor. I don't blame you, Eric. What are those? Those are 04. That's 0.22. So I guess these are all my 0.1 microfarads. All right, the other caps are gray around there, so let's put a gray one in. .1 microfarad X2. Yep. Okay. See, there's 2 gray caps there already. All right. Let's make this look kind of nice. All right. Bend these straight out. And we'll take this, go like that, take that, go like that. Let's pretend that we're not janky. Oh, look at that. It's like it belongs there. Gut Bomb says, don't deny the jank. WTF. WTF indeed, Gut Bomb. WTF indeed. Ah, it feels good to do a stream where everything isn't going to hell. Last Saturday, man, that got in my head. I80386SX says, don't jinx it. Yeah. Hey, Dave's Vintage Apple Tech is here. Hey, Dave. All right, so let me show you what else came with this computer. Oh, check this out. It came with a power cable. It's one of the Apple power cables. I have none of these. How cool is that? Oh, I'm excited. Oh, I'm so excited about that. That is awesome. Came with a matching yellowed mouse. We'll plug that in just for poops and giggles. Came with the keyboard. We won't be able to plug in the keyboard. Keyboard had some feelings, so we'll have to put a new end on there. And it came with the floppy drive, the external floppy drive. How cool is this? I don't have one of these. So yeah, this was a complete setup. So this whole thing was $100. I saw that on Facebook Marketplace and I was like, I will be there in the morning. So I had to drive up to Vermont, go pick this up. This was a good find. So clean on the inside relative to most of the garbage I buy. Okay, and here, now that I've jinxed us, let's plug this thing in and watch it explode. Okay. All right, so we're going to be halfway between. Leave this on here. 3. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, okay, our floppy's unplugged. 3, 2, 1. We got chime. Potato cam. Look at that. We got stuff on the screen. We got a mouse that works in one direction. Oh. Oh well. You can't ask for everything. All right, so how do we fix mice so that they go in 2 directions? Yeah, the wheel is wheeling. It's just not registering. Small picture, that's okay. We can always adjust the picture. But we have a picture, and it's clean. There's no burn-in that I see there. I know you can't make that out with Potato Cam, but that looks nice. Pretty stoked about this thing. Wow. Big Bad Biologist got a win. How rare is that? All right, so I have no ability, I have no 400K floppy disks. I have no whatchamadoodle emulator for floppy drives. So I'm gonna have to figure out something to do with this. I'm gonna have to find some floppies for this thing. Can you use 800K disks to make your system, and then it'll be okay on one of these? Wow. Oh, I'm so excited that thing works. Jeez, I'm not used to things going so smoothly here at the BigBadBench. I think, no, that's how that goes. Okay. Brad Bell, thank you. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The 400K just uses one side of a double density disk. So we'll make up some floppies and see if this thing actually powers up. Where did I just put my thing? Boots up anyway. But normally if you get a chime and a floppy disk icon, that's a really good sign. Don't clean the little felt pad on the 400K drive. Okay. That sounds like good advice. All right, let's put this back together before I decide to take it apart more. This one's gonna have to go back on the shelf for a little bit. I just wanted to double check and make sure that it's actually, there was nothing overtly wrong with it, so that I felt comfortable not getting to it for a little while. Let's tape this guy on there temporarily. Wow. Geez, so that was a productive snow day, huh? Well, at least with regard to this computer or other computers. We'll do a review here in a second. I just want to put this back together before I lose bits. This is my oldest Mac, so I don't want to lose bits. Stop being so productive and making us look bad. Yeah. I'm still stressing out about VCF East next week. I don't know what I'm gonna bring. I'm sort of going back and forth on things. I know at the very least that we will have an Erlenmeyer flask full of old caps. So if you want to win a Blue Scuzzy, come guess how many caps are in that Erlenmeyer flask. I will also have stickers to give away too. I have stickers now. I'm like a Pretend real YouTuber. Steve says, don't worry, I haven't decided what to bring either. All right, that's fine. But at least you have, well, you have other folks that'll also have interesting things. There will be no shortage of interesting stuff at your booth, I am sure. But me and III DIY are going to be hanging out. I'm going to make Ian Scott come and hang out with me so he can show me how to use my Pico Gus. Mac 84 needs to represent the Mac 84 jank. Yes, I think one of the things I will bring is my Mac 2X with the, shoot, what do we call that thing? What's the name of that fungus from The Last of Us? Oh yeah, I guess I should bring a Mac Plus with a internal SCSI mod. I was also thinking of bringing an IBM XT, or not an IBM XT, IBM 5150 with a blue SCSI, because I thought that would be fun to show. The Cordyceps Mac 2X, yeah. So I think that'll be there. Got to get that out and see if it still works. And don't worry, Eric, I'll give away one of my real blue SCSIs. I won't give away one of my green blue SCSIs. But I do know that one of the things I'll be doing at VCF East is working on a couple PowerBooks. So I forget what models I have. I think I have a 145 and a what do I have? A 145 and a 150. And I've never taken them apart. I have my cap order in to do that. So I'll be working on those there. Maybe working on some brittle plastics. I don't know. Let's take a look at this real quick. These were the 30-pin Sims that came out of the corroded 2SI that I bought. I've been wanting to take a look at these. Let's take a look under the microscope. Yeah. Well, let me make an adjustment on my microscope. I think I have something set wrong. That helps a little. All right, let's see what happens when we try to polish these up. Oh no, our microscope is still not happy, but let's see what happens real quick. Wow, those actually cleaned up reasonably well. I was not expecting that to look that good. The other side is still kind of a mess. And we'll have to pop off the RAM chips. But for as bad as that thing looked, that cleaned up nice. Go little eraser point thing. I love those things. I think we'll be able to save this sim. Weird. All right. So we'll come back to it on Saturday. Maybe we'll check and see if these sims have recovered from this from their stint with the battery bomb. It's for folks that don't remember. Here's that board after the ultrasonic bath. You can see we're missing multiple chips now. They fell off in the ultrasonic bath. Lots of stuff is gone. But actually the traces look pretty good. It's weird. The chips themselves took a beating. But I think a lot of the traces are actually okay on this board. So there's a chance that I'll revisit this someday. Because I do have another battery bombed one. And I think we might be able to fix this thing. We'll see. But anyway, that's nowhere near. We're not going to work on that one for a while. We got other stuff to do here at the Big Bad Bench. All right. Let's go back to not pausing cam. Yeah, 2SI. Yeah, I paid a lot for this e-waste. One of the things I was hoping that would happen was that I'd be able to figure out how to get this Super Mac video spigot working, but I have not been able to get that working yet. So that's something that probably will not be at VCF East. Anyway, geez. Sweet YouTube money paying to all this. Yeah, because all that YouTube money that I've never gotten, not that I've earned any. But I'm really close to monetization, so please like, subscribe, do all that stuff. Steve wants me to bring the Super Mac. Okay, should I bring my 2SI with me as well so that we can try it out and you can show me why I was being stupid and it wasn't working? Is the new bus version of the card helpful? No, because in the 2SI, oops, oh, that's not the right riser. This is the right riser. In the 2SI, we have to use this PDS double riser. So yeah. So I'll bring my 2SI. Okay. Let's get out of here. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. This was kind of a fun surprise. I'm happy that most things actually worked today. I'm like even down to this stupid sim actually not looking terrible after what it looked like. But yeah, have a great week, y'all, and or the rest of your week. And then Saturday we'll be back and hopefully finish our wood single board 486 computer. But yeah, have a great day. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you. Like, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff. And oh, there's my face. We don't want to see my face. All right. Have a good day. Thank you all.